There's something most people don't realize about friendships. Suppose you're sitting with someone who knows everything about you, your plans, your fears, your secrets, and they're smiling. But what if I told you that smile is not always safety? Sometimes it's camouflage. Because the most dangerous people in your life are not the ones who stand against you. They are the ones who stand next to you. We are trained to recognize enemies by distance. But psychology says something uncomfortable. The deepest emotional damage doesn't come from enemies. It comes from trusted people who switch roles without warning. And by the time you notice it, you're already emotionally invested. There is a certain type of person who doesn't attack directly. They operate differently. They don't break friendships. They bend them slowly. At first, they feel perfect. They laugh at your jokes. They mirror your energy. They agree with your thoughts. But psychology calls this behavior something subtle. Social mirroring with hidden intent. They don't reveal who they are. They reflect who you want them to be. And it's then not loudly, quietly. You start noticing small gaps. When you share good news, the reaction is delayed. When you succeed, the energy shifts slightly cold. When you need support, they suddenly become busy. It's not obvious betrayal. It's emotional distance disguised as normal behavior. And here's the dangerous part. Fake friends don't make you feel hated. They make you feel confused. Because confusion keeps you attached longer than clarity ever could. Over time, you begin to adjust yourself. You start thinking before speaking. You start filtering your success. You start lowering your excitement just to avoid their reaction. Without realizing it, you're not being yourself anymore. You're managing their emotions. That's the real control. And then comes the most toxic pattern. They remember everything they did for you, not out of kindness, but out of calculation. A small favor becomes emotional debt. A simple gesture becomes leverage. Psychology describes this as relationship scorekeeping, real friendship. Forgets effort, fake friendship remembers it forever, and if you ever confront them emotionally, they have a standard response. You're too sensitive. That one line is powerful because it doesn't deny your feeling, it invalidates it. Slowly, you stop trusting your own instincts, and that's when manipulation becomes complete. But here's what most people never realize. You don't identify fake friends by what they say. You identify them by how safe you feel when you're honest. If honesty creates tension, if success creates silence, if emotions create distance, then the connection is not stable. It is conditional. So what do? You don't fight them. You don't expose them. You simply reduce their access to your inner world. Because power in relationships is not about confrontation. It's about exposure control. Not everyone deserves full access to your thoughts, your plans, your next move. And slowly something changes when you stop oversharing. Their influence starts shrinking. When you stop seeking their validation, their opinion stops controlling you. When you stop explaining yourself, their confusion begins. And here's the final truth. Most people learn too late. You don't lose fake friends. You simply stop feeding the role they were playing in your life. Because in the end, your circle is not about quantity. It is about psychological safety, and not everyone who sits close to you deserves to stay inside your mind. So the real question is not, who is fake? The real question is, who still feels safe when I stop pretending?